ladies and gentlemen, we're at Retreat. I want to thank you real quick for coming to the Allison Minor Music Heritage Stage. I want to take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for this year's festival. I want to thank Shell, the festival's presenting sponsor. I also want to thank Acura, People's Health, Miller Lite, Coca-Cola, the Fairgrounds Race Course and Slots, the Sheraton New Orleans Hotel, Dell, Zatarans, and the many others with their presence here around the grounds during the fest. We do rely on the support of these sponsors to bring you the very best music every year. So if you're enjoying what you're hearing, please think of our sponsors as you enjoy said music. So we want to go ahead and welcome to the stage Mr. Bobby Rush to be interviewed by Mr. Scott Jordan. Thank you.
So, thank you. Welcome to First Saturday Jazz Fest 2012, the Allison Minor Music Heritage Stage. We have the great pleasure and honor of being with the one and only Bobby Rush for the next 45 minutes. And I want to let you all know, too, for the last 10 minutes of the interview, I'll open up to questions. So if there's something you'd like to ask Bobby yourself, there's a mic in the center stand there, so you can put your thinking cap on there. Welcome.
Thank you, Scott.
Well, look, I want to start by setting the record straight on one thing.
Don't do that.
And now, all your fans from your long time in Chicago, they want to claim you as one of their own. And all your friends in Mississippi, they want to claim you as one of their own. But you're one of us. You're from Louisiana.
Yeah, you know what they call us. We can't say that. I'm one of them.
So tell me, Homer, Louisiana. What are some of, here we are in New Orleans, really the great state of Louisiana. What are some of your earliest memories of growing up in Louisiana? What impact did it have on you?
Everything. I was born out in the country, raised in hog, cow, chicken, and everything. My father, who was a preacher, pastor of a church and a minister, and just traveling across the country from one church to the next church and doing his thing as a gospel man. My daddy was probably the first person who influenced me to sing the blues. You probably say, well, why did he influence you to sing the blues or preaching? Because my daddy was a preacher and I respect him for what he done, what he did, and what he stood for. He never told me to sing the blues, but he never told me not to. Great inspiration from my father.
Now, he sang gospel. We're still talking kind of early radio days here. Besides gospel, were you hearing other music in the house, or was there early country? Or?
That was a country. Because now we listened to Randy record shop. We heard the R&B blues on the weekend, but most of it was country western. And I liked it. Wake up, and that was a song that I had back in the day. You get the hook and I'll get the pole, and we go down the crawdad hole. I just love that because I love crawdads. You know, I didn't know what he sung, but I just loved it. It's like writing a book. You can only write about what you know about. So I knew about all of the country western stuff, and so I learned to like it, and I love the story of it, and I still do.
So the storytelling aspect of country.
Oh yeah, the storytelling is kind of the same thing I do. I write everything I do, and I tell the kind of story that I can relate to because it's what I know about. Some of it I fantasize it, but some of it I wish I had done it. Some of it I did it, some I wish I could have done it, and some if I have to do it all over again, I still would do it. So that's what I write about, what I know about.
I remember you said you grew up on lots of chickens, cows, etc. And you have a lot of kind of that folk wisdom in your songs.
Well, my writing comes from who I love most. I like a lot of writers. But Louis Jordan was one of my favorite writers. He wrote about animals, chicken, horses, and roosters, and hens, and ducks, and gooses, and geese. Some of y'all probably know the difference between one and the other, but there is a difference. And I remember country girl, said she was a country girl. She wasn't really a country girl. She lived in Rock Island, Illinois. She came home, and she didn't know anything about farming. So we found out quickly she didn't know anything about farming. She claimed she knew everything about the farm. She went to milk, and she grabbed the bull and tried to milk the bull. She didn't know anything about no farming. So you can quickly get messed up when people tell you they know one thing and you find out they don't know anything about anything. You know?
Well, I remember a story that you had told me a long time ago about your dad, that even though he was a preacher, that your dad is the one who, by telling you a story, actually kind of showed you.
Well, what happened with that story? My cousin gave me a guitar. His name was Son Scott. We call him Son. He was about 16 or 17 years old when he had this guitar. And I was just 7 or 8 years old. So he began to look at the little girl, the girl looked at him. So he didn't care about the guitar anymore. I said, well, son, give me the guitar. Because I was crazy about the guitar. The girl didn't mean anything to me at that time. So he said, okay, take the guitar. So I took the guitar and I hid it in a loft, in a barn, where my dad had his horses and mules and cows. And I didn't know that, too young to know that if you stayed in the loft too long, when the sun would get on it, the old guitar would turn up, you know, and bump the neck on it. So I stayed up there 3 or 4 days. I would bring it down and stick it in a water trough where the horses would drink water, and it would get soft, and overnight it would stretch out. But the next day it would dry out, curl back up again, you know. So I kept putting it in this water. My daddy said, hey boy, bring that guitar to the loft, let me play it for you. Oh, God, I didn't know my dad knew I had the guitar up in the loft. I brought the guitar down the loft. He said, boy, bring that guitar here, let me play you a song. I didn't know my daddy could play. In fact, if he could play at all, I'm looking for him to play something I just heard last Sunday, like, amen, thank God Almighty, amen. But he said, I'm going to sing a song about this lady I knew when I was a young man, just a little older than you are. I just wanted him to sing the song, because I knew that about my mom. But he said, there was a champion tree in my backyard, and a pecan tree. He said, I'm going to sing about this song. He picked his guitar up and did like that. I said, God, man, my daddy can play. And he said, and wow, that was my first time. I said, Daddy, I didn't know you could play. And he smiled. He said, oh, yeah, boy, your daddy could do a lot of things. And I wanted to hear about this thing he could do. And our mother's in the kitchen cooking. He said, I'm going to sing this song about this lady that I knew when I was just a young man. He said, I said, wow, listen to that. And he said, I'm going to sing this song about this lady. I said, Daddy, what was her name? He said, never mind, boy. He said, me and my gal went to take a pin run. She fell down and I saw something. I said, Daddy. I said, say it again. Now, what I wanted my dad to do is tell me what he saw. And I said, say it again, Dad. I was too young. I said, Daddy, tell me what you saw. He said, me and my gal went to take a pin on. She fell down and I saw something. I said, Daddy. Kept on playing like that. My mama in the kitchen cooking. She was looking in the back of it, and I was sitting in the front of my dad. He couldn't see my mama. My mama said, me don't sing that kind of song to that boy. I said, Daddy, sing it again. He said, me and my gal went to Champion hunting. She fell down. I saw something. I said, Daddy, how big was she? He said, she was real fat. In my mind, that woman falling down. I said, Daddy, what she had on? He said, nothing but a dress. In my little mind, that woman falling down with nothing on but a dress. I imagine that was a sight. I said, Daddy, sing it again. He said, me Me and my gal went to take the money. She fell down. I saw something. I said, Dad, sing it again. By that time, my mom said, me no sing that kind of song there, boy. He didn't hear what I said. He went to sing it again. I said, Dad, here come my mom. He didn't care. I didn't see it. I didn't care about what I said to say about it. He went to sing it. He had his head down, across, and he said, me and my gal went to take me home. I said, Dad, here come my mama. Here come my mama. She fell down, and I kept running. I don't know what the song would be. That would influence me about my daddy. Shaking it up. So those kind of things really got me. Another thing that inspired me, Louis Jordan wrote about a lot of things, but I like to write about chicken heads, chicken animals and things like that. When I was a little boy, I was a young man, bro, 17, 18 years old. Louis Jordan had a song called Chicken Fry. And he was inside of this CD, he had a song, he was talking about a buzzard and a monkey was good friends. So the buzzard could fly and the monkey wanted to ride. So apparently the monkey was better friend to the buzzard than the buzzard was to the monkey. So he convinced the monkey to ride with him. And what he really wanted to do was get the monkey up in the air and play tricks on him and kill it for whatever reason. Hurt him. So he said he took him a ride up in the air and he started going like this, zigzagging. So he said, put his tail around the buzzard's neck. He said, tighten up on it. He said, I can't breathe. He said, well, straight up and fly right. Stop all that zigzagging. And I started writing a song like that. But, you know, my biggest record, I guess, my first gold record was Chicken Heads. When this song came about, that was Calvin Carter, who had DJ Records. That was a friend of his, Jehovah's Witness preacher. He said, Barbara, you got a song? I said, yeah, I got a song. He said, what's the name of your song? I said, Chick Head. He said, oh no, we can't record no record ain't no Chick Head. That's too freaky. And I said, and I put the thought, I said, I don't mean chick head, I'm talking about chicken head. He said, oh yeah, boy, you from the South, you eat them chicken heads. And right away, I knew I had it. He said, you got to have an A and a B. At that time, it was A and a B, you know, recording record. He said, what's your B song? I said, Mary Jane. He said, oh yeah, I had a girl named you wrong named Mary Jane. Sing about it. I wasn't talking about a girl at all. So I had me some guys that knew what the hell I was talking about. So I just used it to the band. The song, he said, well, sing the song for me. I said, Daddy told me on the dying bed, give up your heart but don't lose your head. You came along, girl, what did I do? Lost my heart and my head went too, which had nothing to do with the chicken. So, got over their head, so that was oh, I got to tell you, this is an interview, but a friend of mine, just my manager, just walked in. What? Love this man. Love you, Dick Waterman just walked in. Yes. But those are kind of things what invent and make me want to do what I do, because my dad and people like that were so wrapped up in my heart. I love what they did, love what they were doing, and to respect what they did never cut me down for trying to do what I was doing. That made me who I am now. But when you just walked in, Scott was talking about where I'm from a little place called Home, Louisiana. There's a lot of birthdays I have through the writing, through the mistakes and good things, bad things, up things and down things. I have about 6 or 7 papers I have cut out with different birthdays of me. The one I love most, the guy had me, I was born in 1945. I love that guy. Another guy had me born 1940. Tennessee Scott, somebody had me born 1939. So now I say he was 1935.
I've seen 1935.
You say 1935. So the record's been straight here today. I'm real young.
We all just want to have your energy and passion.
Now you still don't know, do you? Well, I'll give you a little hint. I left my little hometown here in Louisiana in 1947. I left and went to Pound of Arkansas with my father in 1951. 1951, I moved to Chicago. Started recording with Chess Recording Company in 1951 and 52. I've been recording this year for 56 years. I have 259 records. Now, it's the reason why I'm sitting down, because I'm old.
Well, listen, can you tell us some stories from those Chicago days? Those are some pretty heady days because you were there right at the heart of all that great chess stuff with Monty, Wolf, Sideman.
When I went to Chicago in 1952, I was there already, but 1952, I think one of the devastating things that ever happened to me when I went to Chess to get a recording company contract. And Mayor London was a black gentleman who was about my age, who'd taken me in because he knew Phil and Leonard, two brothers, well. He said, I'm going to take you in. Well, you got to understand, my real name is Emmett Ellis Jr. And my dad is Senior. And I changed my name because of my dad. No other reason, because what he stood for as a preacher. So I changed my name to Bobby Rush. It took me a long time to get that name because I was looking for a name who had one syllable. Nobody called me Rush, nobody called me Bobby. Everybody called me Bobby Rush. There's plenty of Bobbies in the Rush, but never one Bobby Rush. So I went to Chess to get record. At that time, I was working on Bourbon Street. With Bourbon Street, at that time, there was no black entertainer working on Bourbon Street. But I went there and got a job with 4 white guys who was in a band with me. And I auditioned to get this job down on Rush Street. I'll tell you who this was. Later on, I'll tell you the story. You can figure out who this guy is. I went to get a job for Chess. And Chess said, well, we can't record you, Bobby Rush, because you're under this contract. I said, yeah, I got this contract with Emmett Ellis. They didn't know Emmett Ellis and Bobby Rush was the same name. So I recorded at Chess and walked out with the mask because they thought I was owned by Emmett Ellis. Because I was working on Rush Street, which was Caesar Capone, they thought I was in Shahoot with the Capone brothers. And I used that when they came. So that's how that would happen. I remember at that time they had 2 unions, 10 and 208. Was a union that represented musicians around Chicago area. Big Waterman, remember some of the older guys. But I was in Shahoot and I was working. I probably was making more money than the Buddy Waters and Howland Wolf because I was just fast, young guy, thought I looked pretty good. I was working like $16 at one club, $8 or $9 at another club. I do about 3 of them a night. So in 1951, I'm making $100 a day. That's unbelievable, because I'm going from one club to another. So I went down to record, and on his desk, there was a union was merging 208 and 10. I said, oh, I'm so glad the union is merging. So one of the brothers said to the other brother, where did that boy get that information from? He's off your desk. But I got it off his desk. He said, well, what did that say, boy? I said, say the union is merging. I'm so happy at that. Maybe we get some representation. Somebody represent us fairly now because they are merging together between the white musician and the black musician. He said, when you get that information off my desk, he said, read it to me. I didn't know as a young man he was trying to find out could I read it or not. But anyway, I read it to him. He turned it to his brother and said, we can't hire him. I'll record it because that end can read it. So I never got a contract. That's my story with that. So I'm one of the few guys who walked in and walked out with it under my arm because they thought I could read.
At that time, though, you still, you spent a bunch of time with Little Walter, and another guy, from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Do you have any specific
Arthur went with me to. We went to Waukegan, Illinois in 1953. Could have been 1954. We went to play at this club, and the place was packed. Now at that time, there were only seats about 150, 200 people. But to me, as a young man, golly, look at all these people. And Little Walter said, everybody want to drink, get it on me. They were drinking this beer. It was 25 cents a piece or 20 cents a piece. But to me, that was a lot of money. Little Walter sent the whole house, probably cost him over $10 or something, but to me. Then he set everybody up. He was introducing me to all the ladies. Hey, this is my little brother. And the little girl was coming all around. The lady was kissing on my jaw. I said, yes. I'm Little Walter's little brother. You know, he introduced me. So finally, this lady was sitting on the other end with a leg crossed, big leg. I said, Little Walter, introduce your little brother to that one. He said, that was mine. I just want to be your little brother.
Did that make you stage name as little Walter?
Yeah. But you know what? He spent money, he must have spent $15 or $20 to set everybody up. I thought it was a lot of money. That's more money I ever had in my life. I saw it. He said, I'm out of money. I got to go home and get some more money. You out of money? Go get some more money. I'm having all this fun. So now we about 30, 40 miles from his house, right? We live in the neighborhood together. I don't want to leave. I said, oh God, I'm so, man, I hate to leave. He said, I just got to go to my car. We go to his car. He raised his trunk up. It was full of money. $1 bills at $5. You know, and it wasn't stacked. And it just probably wasn't $500, you know. But to me, that's rich. He just said, get you some, blood. I'm being nice. I just get me a handful. Probably had $20, you know, with ones. And I'm being nice because it's his car and his money, you know. Then he tried to shut the trunk up. He had drunk by this time. He shut the trunk up. And the one that was sticking out the trunk, he was punching it back down. I said to myself, I said, Walter, wow, where you get all this money from? He said, playing hard, playing hard. I went back and got my heart, and I ain't stopped playing this since. Because I want to have this trunk full of money.
Did I see that perhaps we're fortunate enough that you have your harp with you today?
Yes.
Was there anything specific that Walter taught you on the harp, or anything that you
mean what
picked
I
up from him?
You mean what I picked? I picked up the Walter is the best thief in the world. Let me tell you, Walter was taking harp. He was getting his harp sometimes. He called me a rush man. He said, rush man. He said, I bet you can't do this. I said, I can. I said, and I hid the next week on a record. Walter, because I'm a young man, he would bring me to his house, sit me down. He would play with me, but what he was doing is stealing everything from me. You know? Because he had a recording contract, and he could put on records. I had no way, you know. And he was the best. He was the best. He was the best. You know. I never forget. He said, how do you work the hands? And I got it from something about William. If you notice, if you have a little Walter, he never did this. He always did it with his throat. He never used his hand. You know, but when I started doing it, he got on some records and started doing it. But he never really used his hand to do that, you know. But he was a genius in all what he done, and the best thief in the world. But he was my friend. I got to tell you this. I lived on Troy, 1220 Troy. He lived at 1215 Albany, which was next door street. So he married, and I'm married, right? So he goes in and tells his wife that he's going to take me to work. And my wife sees him at that time. I'm married the first time. He's young, married, both of us. And he said, hey, Bobby Rush, you back already? And I don't know what to mean. I don't know what to tell him. I'm back already. I know Walter must have lied to her about something. He done told me he's taking me to work. I'm coming. I ain't going to work and I got a job, you know. But he would do that to me, get me in trouble all the time, you know, get me in trouble all the time. But he was a good entertainer, very open spoken, say what is on his mind, do what he say, and just drink like a fish and get drunk and lie about it tomorrow. But he's my friend.
So you mentioned Sunny Boy, so you got that Arkansas connection there, and then you've got obviously Walter and Chicago, and that deep chromatic sound. Did you run across any of the Louisiana guys coming through Chicago when you were there? The Swamp Blues with Slim Harpo, et cetera?
Yeah, Slim Harpo, but he was. But I love Junior Parker playing, and I love Lil Walter playing. I respected Sonny Boy. This is why I said that. I respected his playing, but I wasn't in love with his playing. I was in love with his music, his talent, but I didn't like his harp playing as well as I did with Junior Parker. And I just, Lil Walter was just a genius, you know. And I didn't mind it playing like Lil Walter when I playing more like myself, you know.
How would you just, if you could put it into words, I mean, how would you describe your harmonica style?
Well, if you notice, I never showed this side. Most 99% of the harp players play from this way. But I reverse the harp. I'm the only one in the country play like that. I play left-handed. The harp is reversed. All the keys reversed. So it's hard for you to get the sound of it because I played upside down. I learned that because I had the chicken pop when I was about 5 years old. I had to reverse the harp to the side of his roll here, to the side of my mouth. By the time the chicken pop got well, I was another kind of harp player. Chicken pop harp player.
Inspiring harp players, even at sick.
But you know, I still go through the things, Scott. I still go through things where people ask me, what is the worst thing that ever happened to you in your life? I think when I look back on J.B. Lenoir and myself in 1952, in Muddy Waters, playing at a place called Apex. When I look back on it, it was a funny situation then, but when I look back on it now, it's a sad situation because we were playing out in suburb of Chicago where it was a white audience, where we played behind a curtain all night long, where they wanted to hear our music, but they didn't want to see our face. We had to stand in a ring behind a curtain, and the band was behind a curtain from me. Once a night they would open the curtain, so you were entertained by Bobby Rush, J.B. Lenoir, and we would take a bow and then close the curtain back up. Those are the kind of things that I remember most. It wasn't as sad now, but it was sad then because it was a way of making a living. That's not to make a living. So someone asked me, so what's the worst thing that ever happened to you, and why did you sing the blues? Is it because your woman left you? You can have the blues when your woman leave you, but you can also have the blues when they stay too long. But in a song, I think this. Let me explain this in a song, and see if this ring a bell to you. Have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed up love? Have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed up love? Out of all the men my woman could have left me for, she left me for the garbage man. No matter how bad she treated me, you know, I still can't get the woman out of my mind. No matter how bad she treated me, you know, I still can't get this good loving about her and the garbage man all the time. If I ever get married again, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. If I ever get married again, I'm gonna buy myself a big old garbage truck. When my garbage can get full, I'm gonna take it and dump it way, way, way out in the woods. That's the music part.
In just a minute, we're going to open up for questions. So if y'all have a question you'd like to ask Bobby, you can start making your way to the center mic. One of the things, I'm not just saying this, one of the things I love about you is I think you have one of the best senses of humor in the blues. And I think, you're a great writer. And I see it, or I hear a lot of stand-up comedy almost in your stage show, the double entendres and where does that come from?
I'm really a stand-up comedian. That's where I started. I was getting 2 monies. I remember 1954. I went to Rock Island, Illinois. I had J.B. Lenore and myself. Art Turner was going to play for me, and the guy he was going to Rock Island, Illinois. The gentleman wanted a MC. I was getting $31 a night as a band leader, paying my guys $7.50 a night. So the man said, well, I'll pay $40 for a good MC, a stand-up comedian. I said, well, I got just the guy for me. But at the time, I was this guy called Pretty Bob. So I went and told Pretty Bob, because I need you to go to Rock Island. I got a gig for you. I can pay you $30. Now, you're paying me $40 right now. I'm an agent. I'm the boss. So I get me $10 a night on the ship. Get ready to go to Rock Island on Wednesday and Friday. Thursday night he called me and said he could not go. God, I'm gonna miss this money. I'm not thinking about the comedian. I'm thinking about the money. I said, what am I gonna do? I said, oh, man, I could be that guy. So at that time I didn't wear a mustache. I went to the store and bought me some Fu-made mustache. Put some glue on it. Looked in the mirror. I said, yeah. I said, this guy. And I called myself Pretty Pop. And I said, yeah, and I'll take them off, I'll put them on. Take them off, put them on. What I did, I would dress just clean. I would dress like made up under the side, and I'd get in some big overalls, big suit and put it on. So I'd be dressed and I put the mustache on like that. I said, yeah. So I said, well, I got to change my name. I changed my name to Tramp because I looked like a tramp. I said, ladies and gentlemen, we got Mr. Tramp. So the guy asked me before I went on the stage, he said, you got Tramp? I said, yeah, I got it. He's out in the car. He said, bring him in at the beginning. I said, no, he can't be here. This has got 2 baskets. Once he meets you, he just freeze up. He just can't be here. He said, it's fine with me as long as he can do his job. I said, yeah, he can do his job. So I goes on, do the comedian stuff with my mustache. I said, man, ladies and gentlemen, it's style time. Mr. Bobby Rush. I stepped behind the curtain, put it on, come back on the stage, and I was done right back. So I worked like that for about 6 weeks before everybody knew that was the same time. So that's what a stand-up comedian comes in,
All right, does anybody have any questions for Bobby?
I want to thank Scorsese for his blues series, and I want to thank you
Thank you.
for being on that series because it was such an important part of the development of the music as we know it today, and particularly a consolation, the blues. Being a Shreveport boy,
Oh, yes, yes. Stan Lewis.
familiar with the bottoms,
Stan Lewis.
Led Belly,
Yes.
and Pier Avenue Grill, Cotton Club, which no white man was allowed in after 5 o'clock
Thank you so much. You know, it's so important that you would say that to me. I'm so grateful that you said what you said to give me the opportunity to say, because the white men couldn't enter a certain club at a certain time of age to that thing. But you see, that's why you see me with the girls on the side of me now. Someone may cut me down for having the ladies with me and dancing. Because I remember in the early 50s in the Harlem clubs and the Playboy clubs, this what was happening. But you had a lot of white were going to see the black acts, but your black act couldn't play the white clubs. And then sometimes the white men or women couldn't come to these kind of clubs unless it was after 5 o'clock you couldn't come. So it's a very segregated on both sides of the fence. Some people may not know that, you know. And it's so important. So that's why you see I played a big part in the Los Angeles situation because I stood as a man who stood for, as a black man, stood for my blackness in the music that I did because I crossed over, but I didn't cross out. And thank you for letting me be myself.
Just really happy to see you here, Bobby.
Thank you.
And at 19 years old, I used to drive to Chicago and go to Florence's on Sunday afternoon, and I'd see Magic Sim and the Teardrops. And Magic Sim and I have been friends ever since, and I've booked them and worked with them a long time. But the stories he's told me, and the scenes of going to Florence's on a Sunday and all dressed up, and me being the only white kid with another friend, and everybody thought we were there to buy their records and to book them, and they'd take us to the jukebox and say, I got a record on this jukebox. And so Slim, you know Matt Slim,
Out of Milwaukee.
and he's in Nebraska now, whatever, but Slim has told us great stories about Europe and how well he's been treated there, and I just wonder if you could reminisce on some of the trips you've taken over there, and he's been treated so the Aces, Dave and Louis Myers, they used to get treated in Japan like royalty. So I just
Yeah, I can add to that. I was telling Scott today. God, I'm so blessed that you see, I didn't have to go to Germany or whatever to make a living. I didn't run for myself as a man, and I certainly didn't run for myself as a black man. Because what happened, not Slim I'm talking about, what happened with a lot of musicians come from the area I come from. They were ashamed to be themselves because they didn't want nobody to know they were who they are. Because I had young men ashamed to sing the blues. I had a gentleman told me about 8 or 9 years ago, a lady came up, she was about 20 years ago, she said, oh, this is my first blues show. God, I like the way I was singing blues. And the gentleman with me, I don't want to get the name because I'm not a damn blues singer. Because they're ashamed of what they do and who they are. But when you see Bobby Rush, I don't have a chip on my shoulder. I'm proud of me and what I do. Not only I'm a blues singer, I'm a black blues singer, and I know it. And proud of it.
You want to maybe take us out with one more song?
Yeah, I would tell you of Jimmy Reed. Little story about Jimmy Reed, quickly. It's not a good story, but it's a true story. Jimmy Reed was a gentleman that drinks a lot, if anybody knows his history. I was a little guy who would run to the store. It's not good, I'm saying it's not a good story now. And I would buy whiskey, but he would give me $1, $1.50 to go buy him some whiskey. After about the second trip, he'd give me $1.50, I would go buy whiskey. And I learned to have me a bottle half full of water. And I'll fill it up half full of water, half full of whiskey. So every other time, I would make the money. And I did that on Jimmy Reed. He would love me. He said, Bobby Rush, you sure bring some good whiskey. And I would make money. I would make $3 or $4 a day. And at that time, even whiskey, $3 or $4 a day was a lot of money back in those days. And another thing I regret, something I laugh about it, Elmo James told me in 1953, 54, I was in a little place called Belzoni, Mississippi. friend of mine in Chicago named Lee Robazine was dating a lady on a funeral home in Mississippi. So she had 2 funeral homes, nice looking lady. So Elmo James was, I wanted him to work for me. He said he had to have $125. Elmo James had been $125. I couldn't pay him. I said, I can pay you $50. He said, no, I can't work for you. I went to take him to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And we were sitting there walking along, and this lady passed by that my friend's girlfriend, they wasn't married at the time. He said, who is that? I said, it's a friend of mine, friend. He said, ooh, what I wouldn't do for that. I walked away, I said, what you say? He said, I'll do anything. I said, anything? I said, come here, let me talk to you. I said, I think I can fix you up if you play this good for me. That's not right. I told you it was right. So I knew Lee Robazine. So he had this funeral home. I said, Lee Robazine, what you got going this weekend? He said, I got a funeral Friday, but nothing after that. So I said, why didn't you take me to Arkansas? Now I wanted him to take me to Arkansas, but I wouldn't let him take me to the club. I wanted him to stop 3 or 4 blocks from the club, because I don't want nobody to see me getting out of this hearse. So I would take him, and he would take me to the gig. At the meantime, Elmo James stayed back to the funeral home, right? Every other week, Elmo James played for me free. Because he said, I don't know what he did, what my business, but I put it together. It ain't right, I know that. I'm sorry about that. But I got to play for me for no money. So those kind of things. And Jimmy Reed was there. He would play. Y'all know he was playing. I said, Jimmy, how do you do that? He said, then when the Beatles came to town, they stole the lick from Jimmy. And Jimmy was still there. And the Beatles got it and turned it upside down and said, come together. Y'all catch it in the movie. But one thing they couldn't steal. Ain't it sad, ain't it sad? When your wife got a backdoor friend. Fellas, ain't it sad? When your woman got herself a backdoor friend. Where you get mad and move out. Your backdoor friend a movie step in. Listen to it. My woman just like a dresser. Somebody always around me to draw. Hey, my woman just like a dresser. Got somebody always around me to draw. Get to the place lady. I can't put no trust in her at all. Thank you, Excuse me, I think my guy got a few CDs. I know I got my best friend just walked in the house. Greg Preston just walked in. And we got a few CDs over there. You can walk in and get you one at a time. We don't have many over here, but we have plenty over to the main stage. Come on over and have some pie and have some drinks and think what you're thinking, drink what you're thinking. We're going to play what we play to you. Bless you. Thank you for listening to me.